Hi, and welcome to Module 3A. Finally, we have arrived where you're going to create your business plan. Now, I've asked you in the past, in the other videos, to note a lot of things in regards to what will your business look like, what type of product or service you want to offer. Now, how are you going to differentiate yourself from someone else? So in this video, I'd like to talk about that. So how are you going to differentiate yourself from another competitor, or how is your offer going to be different than somebody else? So it's very, very important. I know you've done it before, but here we're going to hone it again. So what is your product? What is your service? I hope that the exercise you did in the other module is helping you to understand, okay, well, my product is this and not that. This is very, very important to seize that this is what I'm offering. It's to be very clear in your mind. Because others could be offering something that's similar, like a competitor could be offering something that's very, very similar to what you're doing. But how do you differentiate yourself from them? Have you thought about that? Are you just another coffee shop, for instance, just offering coffee? Now, I'm going to get to that there in a few minutes in regards to coffee shop. Now, by doing this, by focusing on what product or service you want to offer, this is helping you in what we call branding. So basically branding is how people will know you for what? How are you different from your competitor? Now, this is part of branding. Now, one thing is very important, and I've mentioned it before, is to focus on a certain clientele, for instance. I know some people think, well, I'm going to offer something, a product or service, and everybody's going to buy what I have to offer. Well, that's not necessarily true. Even if you would be selling bread and milk, not everybody buys the type of bread even, and milk. So don't think that everybody's going to buy your product. So basically, who is going to buy your product? Now let's say I go back to the coffee analogy. Now, I don't know about you, but I drink a lot of coffee. I don't know if you've been to many coffee shops. I like to go in a coffee shop and try to find what's different here. Well, how are they different? I know that, Tim Hortons across Canada and even Starbucks are pretty well the same across Canada. There might be some differences in decor or whatever, but the offering is pretty well the same across Canada. I like to go to those unique mom and pop coffee shop that are very different. A few months ago, I was in Montreal and I visited some coffee shops there, and it was very, very, very unique. It's even the anti-cafe type of coffee shop. Tim Hortons and Starbucks, they offer coffee. I understand that Starbucks offers some coffee that's a bit more expensive, but at the base, it's coffee beans, right? And if we go right at the base for the coffee bean, there's not a big difference as far as cost per kilo. Some coffees, yes, but most coffees is pretty well the same. Now, what differentiates McDonald's, Tim Hortons, and Starbucks? Well, it's not the coffee itself, but it's the experience going to that coffee shop. Now, McDonald's has stepped on the bandwagon maybe the last 10 years in regards to coffee shop. Now it's a big seller at McDonald's. As a kid, I never thought that I would go to McDonald's to buy a coffee, that McDonald's would be like a coffee shop, but it is now. There's a big market for that. So the McDonald's, they cater to a certain type of clientele. The Tim Hortons, a different type of clientele. And the same thing for Starbucks and the Second Cups and the other people. So they understood, okay, well, who is my client? What's my client's profile? What product am I going to offer for this client? Understand? Like, for instance, at Tim Hortons, the variety of coffee is pretty limited. Now they've just came out with the darker coffee for people who like that. But at Starbucks, for instance, you have all types and even all price range. So their offer is very, very different. Now, when someone is clear in their mind in regards to the product or service that they're offering, it helps a lot. Let's say you got to go to the bank and get some money. And when you're clear in your mind, this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do like this guy or that company. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus on that. I believe there's a niche in that. There's some money to be made. Well, your argument will be stronger if you're clear in your mind. So in your business plan, one of the first parts is actually defining your product or service. So I hope the readings in this module, in this video, and also the link in this module will help you to define really what your product or service is.